Hello, today I'm going to show you how to create an opacity mask. An opacity mask is usually a shape with a black and white gradient fill that is placed over the existing shape, a group of shapes, or an image to control the visibility of the object below it. In the first example, we are going to create an opacity mask that will make the right side of this vase fade seamlessly into the background. First, we need to create a shape for the mask that will cover the existing shape. The easiest way to do this is to create a copy. Press the Ctrl and C keys on your keyboard to copy it, and Ctrl F to paste it in front. I'm going to change the fill of the top shape to black so you can see it better. And we have two of the same shapes on top of each other. To create an opacity mask, the fill of the top shape has to be set to the black and white gradient. We can choose the black and white gradient from the swatches or from the gradient panel instead. The important thing to remember is that our color scale cannot be set to grayscale. If we use the grayscale, the opacity mask will not work properly. I'm going to change my color mode to RGB. Now we are ready to create an opacity mask. Be sure your transparency panel is open. If you can't see it, go to Window and choose Transparency. To create an opacity mask, we need to cut this black and white gradient shape and paste it over this thumbnail. First, be sure the white and black gradient shape is selected. Next, press the Ctrl and X keys on your keyboard to cut it. This will temporarily move our shape into an invisible clipboard. Next, select the shape that you want to add an opacity mask onto. The selected shape should appear in the first thumbnail box of the transparency panel. You will notice that we are still working in the regular layers mode. This, however, is going to change. Now double-click on this thumbnail box to create and edit the opacity mask. As soon as we do this, everything will disappear and you will notice a blue border around this thumbnail. This indicates that we are now working in the Layers Opacity Mask mode. Next, we need to paste our black and white gradient shape onto this thumbnail. To do this, go to Edit and choose Paste in Place, or use the keyboard shortcut instead. And now this thumbnail shows the shape of our opacity mask. To adjust the transparency of the object below the opacity mask, first open the gradient panel and now move the color stubs. If you prefer, you can do it directly on the screen. To make the colors on the left more intense, move the white color stub to the right. Just play with it to get the look you desire. You will notice that the opacity mask thumbnail changes as we adjust the gradient. To check how our artwork will look on a transparent background, go to View and choose Show Transparency Grid, or use the keyboard shortcut instead. To hide the grid, press the same keys again, or go to View and choose Hide Transparency Grid. To stop editing the opacity mask, just click on this thumbnail. This will take us back to our original layers. You will notice that Illustrator adds a dashed line which indicates that this layer has an opacity mask applied to it. Now we can create more shapes or edit the existing shape. In the next example, I'm going to show you how to add an opacity mask to a group of many shapes. So, like we did previously, we need to create a single shape that will cover our artwork. We could create a simple rectangle, but if we want to be precise, we can create a shape that will perfectly cover only our artwork. First, let's select everything, group it together, and duplicate it. Let's lock the bottom group layer. Select the top group, and then go to Object and choose Expand Appearance. Go to Object one more time and choose Expand. Next, go to Pathfinder and choose Unite. This creates a compound path shape that fits perfectly over our artwork. Now we will follow the same steps like we did previously. Let's select this compound path shape, apply the white and black gradient, press Ctrl X to cut it and paste it into an invisible clipboard. Open the transparency panel. Be sure your artwork is unlocked and selected. Double click on this thumbnail to activate the layer's opacity mask. And now press the Ctrl, Shift and V keys on your keyboard to paste our mask in place. Now adjust the color stops to control the transparency of the object below the mask. When you are done, click on the first thumbnail to stop editing the opacity mask. And we are back to layers. You will notice that the opacity mask has been applied to this group. If necessary, do any adjustments to your artwork. In this example, we are going to add a line texture to our vase and create an opacity mask only over the lines, so they fade away into the right side of the vase profile. Let's duplicate the green shape. Now change its fill to this line texture. You can find it under the Swatch Libraries menu. Go to Patterns, Basic Graphics, Lines, and pick one of the line patterns. Now we will add an opacity mask to this pattern. First, create a copy of the shape with the lines. Next, apply the white and black gradient. Press Ctrl X to cut it and paste it into an invisible clipboard. Select the shape with lines. Open the transparency panel. Double-click on this thumbnail to switch to the Layers Opacity Mask editing mode. And paste our gradient shape into this thumbnail. Now adjust the opacity mask directly over the artwork. When you are done, don't forget to exit the Layers Opacity Mask editing mode. In the last example, I'm going to show you how to add an opacity mask to an image. First, let's select our image and lock it. Next, create a shape that will cover your image. Now open the gradient panel and apply the white and black gradient. Be sure the color mode is set to anything but grayscale. Next, press Ctrl X to cut it and paste it onto an invisible clipboard. Unlock your image and be sure it is selected. The first thumbnail in the transparency panel should show your image. Now double-click on the second thumbnail to switch to the Layers Opacity Mask mode. And finally, press the Ctrl, Shift and V keys on your keyboard to paste the opacity mask in place. Now adjust its transparency like we did previously. If we would like to add text to the bottom, first don't forget to exit the Layers Opacity Mask editing mode. And now add your text. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.